Okay, good afternoon or good morning to everyone. As you all know, this is a recorded online orientation, but everything in our open forum will be live. This will be the first time that we are going to meet because at this time we are very busy. So about the teacher. So my name is Leonard John Varias Carillo, and I graduated at Central Mindanao University with a bachelor's degree, BSEd Physical Education, and I'm currently taking up my master's degree in Lourdes College, Cagayan de Oro City, Master of Arts in Education in Teaching, Physical Education. So that is my major. Okay, next. So our consultation hours will be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. If you have emergencies or if you have concerns or questions, you can only contact me at around 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But of course, you can send your messages, but I won't be able to answer that or to attend to all your queries because, of course, that is not part of our working hours already. My email address, you can contact me at lvcarillo@csucc.edu.ph. So you can air your questions there, or you can send your assignments or your projects or your activities there. But I would really appreciate it if you will only send your queries through my messenger account. We all have designated group chats, right? So if you're still not there, you can contact your classmates so that they can add you. So my Facebook or my messenger account is Leonard John V. Carillo. So you can search that up, you can add me, and I will accept you um, as much as I can. Let's start with the quizzes. So the quizzes, I will only give it to you for 1 week. Last semester, I do it every Friday. I post it every Friday, and the next deadline is the next Friday, of course. So that would be 7 days, but that is still subject for modifications because sometimes there are really students that cannot submit their quizzes or answer their quizzes for the given 1 week because others don't have their phones. They tend to borrow other people's phones so that they can attend this online modality. So scores will be released after manual checking. So uh, don't expect scores after you are going to take the quizzes because chances are your answers is correct, but the way you input it in the Google form is incorrect. For example, you type in all caps, but the answer I input is sentence type. So yeah, again, scores will be released after manual checking to also avoid sharing of answers. I will only release it after everyone have answered the quizzes. So if you haven't answered the quiz in the given time, of course, I won't give you any more chances because that would be very unfair to everyone that have taken their time to answer the quiz. So Google quizzes, or I mean, the quizzes will be via forms or via Google Forms and will be unavailable after the due date. So again, 1 week only, or it's still subject to modifications. Okay, next, instructions. So read and follow instructions. So we are already college students, and I assume that everyone is already capable of reading and comprehending simple instructions. So I give that responsibility to you to read every instruction in the quizzes or in every activity that we are going to have. So read and follow instructions. Invalid reasons won't be accepted. So such as, sir, wala ko kabasa, sir, pasensya kayo, sir. Or, sir, na-autocorrect akong phone. Or, sir, wala ko kabantay, pasensya kayo. Or, na wrong spelling. Of course, that is already common sense that wrong spelling is really wrong because again we are already in college and it is your responsibility as a student to know the spelling because you are given ample amount of time and you can search it up, of course. So dali na lang siya i-search, no, because everything is already in the net. For example, test 1, identification. Identify the statements as artist or artisan. So this is an example of my quiz to my art app subject. So use small letters, example, artisan, or artist. Even if your answer is correct, but you did not follow the instructions, you used big letters, I won't consider that, because again, it is your responsibility as a student to follow instructions. So test two, what am I? So check your answers or answer. Note if there are two answers. Again, if there are two answers and you only answered one, it will be considered, but you won't get the exact score given to that item. For example, in number one, we have 5 points, and I am asking for 5 answers, and you only answered one, so you will only get 1 out of 5. Okay, next. So if you have questions, just write it down below, or you can wait for the open forum. Okay, next is about your questions and concerns. So that is already common in this modality, in this online modality, that a lot of us has questions. And sometimes our teacher cannot attend to everything that you are going to ask, because we are not only teaching, we are also doing office works. PM is not the key. So designated group chats, we have designated group chats, and so all your questions or concerns should only be seen or should only be sent in our group chats, because I cannot attend to everyone in their in my inbox if you're going to PM me. So we also have designated area in our Google Classroom. So you can send your questions there, or your concerns or recommendations about our class. So you can also email it to me, but I do not recommend this because I don't often open my email at my Gmail. And personal messages can be attended if I have time, of course, because I can only look in our designated group chats, because that is the most, or that is the only way I can connect with all of you to answer your questions. So personal messages is discouraged. But if you have emergencies, I can answer that. So this is what's going to happen in our Google Classroom. So just like what I've said a while, we have a designated area for your concerns or your comments or your suggestions. So I will be posting this in the stream. So announcements will be posted in our stream. So stream is different from classwork. So stream is where my announcements are, and classwork is where our lessons will be posted, our quizzes, our activities, our midterm exams, and the likes. So questions, suggestions, and concerns will be posted, and you can comment there everything or anything you want to say. So if you opt to message me through our group chat, you can do that. But I can also manage to answer your queries here in our Google Classroom. Okay, so it can be found in our stream. It is very important to give respect to other people, right? It's already it's what we call human decency. Yeah, that is called human decency. And if you don't have that, if you can't respect other people, just like what they say, respect begets respect. And the case here is, I will be your teacher, and even if I am not your teacher, you must be respectful at all times. You must be courteous and everything. Especially in this modality, it is very hard to be respectful, because sometimes, just like what I have encountered from the past semesters, a lot of students will just message you and ask for what they want, ask for their grades, ask for something that they have missed, without even saying good morning, without even saying courtesy, the proper courtesy in sending your teacher in their personal messages. So be formal and be courteous. So you are communicating with your teacher, not a long lost friend. So you will say good morning, good afternoon. You introduce yourself. Of course, you should introduce yourself and your section, because if you're just going to introduce yourself, I won't be able to know what section you are right away. So that won't be necessary anymore for me to ask you what your section is, because I am handling 13 sections. So that is already common sense for you to of course send your section as well. So you will air your queries now. You will send your what you want to know, or what you have for me. Okay, so that is for in emailing your teacher, or in communicating with your teacher, or anyone else that is, in the online platform. Okay, this is for our classwork. So classwork is different from stream. It is different to stream because in classwork, everything is posted there. The orientation, the lessons, the quizzes, the activities, the exams, and all of those. So we have week 1 and week 2. I have already itemized everything in our classwork in our Google Classroom. So you don't need to worry. But don't worry, I won't bombard you with a lot of activities. We'll give all of your lessons religiously. So I won't give it to you diretso diretso. So we have this so-called quad section. Okay, before quad section. So this is what's going to happen in our classroom. So at the first week, we will have one lesson or 1 to 2 lessons. Of course, you are going to read that asynchronously. So asynchronously means you're going to read that on your own, at your own time, at your own pace. Okay, asynchronously. But sometimes we will be meeting for me to discuss our lesson for that week. Of course, because there are topics that is quite hard to comprehend, which needs your teacher's guide in explaining. Okay, so lesson, and after 1 week, we will have quad section, or the discussion prompt area. So sometimes I will put your discussion prompt every after the lesson, because especially right now, I need to do that because we are already late for about 2 weeks. So after that, we will have an assessment. We will have a quiz, a simple quiz, of course, just around 10 to 20 item quiz that can be seen in the PowerPoint. So you don't need to worry about where to get your references or where to get your lessons, because everything will be posted in our Google Classroom. I mean, everything. The quizzes, the lessons that we are having, even the references where I got those materials. Okay, next. Okay, so what is a discussion prompt? So how to do it, or how to do the quad section. In the last semester, what I let my students do is that they should comment their answers. But this time, I won't allow anyone to comment anymore. I want you to hand in your questions. So for example, you are going to ask questions, and you will see that there. So, okay, open your Google Classroom if you can, and try answering the first quad section. So you will put your answer there, and don't forget to hand in your questions. Again, don't forget to hand in your questions. Of course, after your question, you can also put your discussion. So that please know that this activity is worth 35 points. So 10 for one question, 10 points for the for the answer, your answer to the question of your classmates, and 15 points for your discussion. So that is a lot, right? So this will be considered as your quiz for this week, or that week, or the next week. So after your question, don't forget your discussion. So you can discuss anything, everything that you want to discuss. But there are grounds in putting your discussion. You cannot in any way put anything from the internet. It should be your idea. You can use the internet, but only for reference. that is it will be called cheating, especially if you are just going to copy and paste other people's ideas about our topic for today. So you should be able to answer it on your own. So cheating is subject to getting 0 points, or even you know, kablo na mo sa may tabo sa inyo if you are going to cheat. Not only do you cheat to yourself, you are also cheating sa imong future. So please know that cheating won't be tolerated. So at least one paragraph in your discussion, 45 sentences minimum. So if you have 6 sentences, or you can also have 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, as much as you want. Okay, next. So file name format in every activity that you are going to submit to me. So example, Carillo, Leonard quiz1. So if we have the first quiz, if it's an essay type or a reflection, you are going to, of course, attach a file and name it as Carillo Leonard quiz1. Okay, next. Okay, we will now have our open forum.